Alright, so we have talked about lists. Now I want to talk about while loop. Why do I want to talk about while loop? Well, if I want to create continuous applications, I would need to put them in a loop that will continue looping forever. Okay? So, as you have seen so far, we were doing some code, we were writing code, we were executing in sequence, and then when we reach the end of the code, what happens? Stops. The whole program stops. Well, I want this to continue and jump back to the beginning every time. This is important if we are creating stuff like menus, like GUIs, user interactions. We need this kind of mechanism that will continue looping. Okay? There is tons of applications for this while loop. Now let's go and see how we can program that. Okay, so how can we program an infinite loop? We simply need to say while 1, and that's it. Now everything inside here will continue repeating forever. I'm gonna just make a user input. Let's say this is user input, and it will say enter a letter. Now this program will execute forever. It will keep asking us enter a letter, enter a letter. We will enter a letter, it will repeat. Let's say that we are printing the letter afterwards. So print user input. Okay, so we will be entering a letter and then printing it. This will continue forever. Now I'm going to create a condition to break out of the loop. It's important to always have an exit point from the infinite loop. Otherwise, your program will never stop until you force it from your command line. So we're going to say if user input is equal to, remember it needs to be a string, right? Because user input is storing a string. Exit. Then how do we break out of a loop? We just say break. See what's happening? We are taking the user input, printing it. Now we're checking what is the user input. If it equals to exit, I want to break out. Now let's try this. Enter a letter A, B, C. Enter whatever you want. It won't exit. It will continue forever. You, me. Now if we type exit, we are out of the program. As you can see, we broke out. This is the use of while one loop. Now while loop has different syntax for different cases, but for an infinite loop, all you need to do is only this. And don't forget you need an indentation block. As you can see, everything is within indentation with respect to while. Same here in the if, we have an indentation for the if, for the break inside the if. Okay, that's good.